Welcome back to Talk Jamaica here on Talk Jamaica Radio. We are streaming live at www.talkjamaicaradio.com and we are streaming also at www.caribrhythms.com. My name is Roston Chamberlain. My co-host this afternoon is Ricardo Brooks. We are now taking new listeners into Talk Vault. At 23 years, one can say Tijani Christian has done it all. The Waterhouse St. Andrew resident is an educator, is a youth pastor, is a cadet leader, consultant, and has capped numerous awards. Tijani is currently pursuing a Bachelor of Science degree in Social Policy and Development at the University of the West Indies. And today he joins us in Talk Vault to tell us a little bit about himself. Tijani, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chamberlain. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you for asking.
Hello.
Let me jump right into it. My producer is telling me that you are truly an all-rounder. Tell us, if you will, where do you get the drive and the time to be involved in all these activities?
Well, no problem. Again, thank you for having me on your radio program this evening. I did it as a pleasure and honored privilege. The drive for me really comes by my circumstance, what I've been through growing up in Waterhouse community. My mother died when I was 1 year old rather. Then afterwards I had to live with my grandmother. The poorest of state. I know what it means to really not have the food, not have the shoes to go to school, wearing slippers to school, all of those things. Even when the shoes went, you had to put cardboard inside of the shoes to just to have something to go to school. And it would be worse if it rained that day and then you would be soaked out and don't know what to do. So I understand those state of mind, and I understand going through those different situations because of then that it pushes me that I won't stay where I started. I may have started from the miles of nothing, but at this point I can say I'm not at that place. So that pushes me, and that is the passion that I have, why I can look on the next person who is going through the similar situation, or not even worse, to tell them that there is hope and there's a way that you can make for yourself. It just takes a vision, and that is what I believe. Once you have a vision for yourself, where you think you are going, then the rest will be history. Things will come into play, but you have to start to see yourself not as what you are at the start, but what you're going to be.
Mm-hmm. You speak, Tijani, about your humble upbringing in Waterhouse. Did you think the community and some of these communities that violent and the political uproar that happens, did that in any way affect your upbringing and affect your focus in knowing where you wanted to go?
Well, in truth and in fact, Ralston, when I make the story come even closer home, when I was 13 years old, rather 12, I passed my GSET and I was heading off to Jamaica College. The morning before I started the new school year, September 6th, I can't forget it. The Sunday in the night, 2 a.m. rather, I heard a knock on the door. And a thunderous knock to say, listen, you need to come out of this house. It was gunmen coming at our door saying that we need to come out of the house because it's a lookout point. It's at a strategic position that they can see the whole of the community if men were to invade or to come inside the community. So we needed to leave. Shots were fired within the yard. Mark you, this is something that would frighten any youngster at age 12 that was going to go forward in life. You're just coming out and going to a new journey. So the violence was there, it did. But the truth of the matter is that I knew that living a purpose-filled life was not going to be an easy one. Worse when you say you're going to be different. Worse when you realize you are different. It means then that things are not going to be the same charted path. So I understand what it means that a gun was offered to you to shoot. I understand that the ganja was offered to me or whatever, but I knew the path that I wanted. And from then, when I knew I was almost killed, in that instant, they came in the house. I was almost killed. And I knew that I was preserved for a purpose. I could not waste time. There was something that I had to do. So violence was there, but it was not an inhibitor, but rather it pushed me to what I wanted to do.
Right. You term yourself a servant leader, yes? And not too often we hear this term. Tell us, if you will, what really is a servant leader?
Well, the servant leader is really understanding that leadership is from the bottom up. It is about you having been empowered as an individual. It is about now you empowering others to see themselves out the greater potential that they are. So the potential, you see the potential that they have and push them towards that to break the limit or to break the ceiling that they have set over themselves. So the servant leader is that I am here to serve others, having been empowered, having been schooled, having been educated, having been to the different platforms, the different sitting meetings, wherever it may be, both local and overseas. I then use these skills to serve the people that are around me, whichever organization that I'm in. My greatest joy is not necessarily going to receive the Prime Minister Youth Award. That happened not because I set out to get the Prime Minister Youth Award. It happened because of the fact that I was trying to change lives within at the same time. And so I was awarded because I was trying to do the transformation. So for me, a servant leader is a transformational leader, seeing others as the prime capital for how you're going to the change is going to happen. So human capital is your greatest asset, and so you serve them, and then once you serve them and empower them, then the job is easier to do.
And as you talk about the Prime Minister's Award, Tijani, tell us, how did that impress on you? How did you feel having copped that award? Did that in any way change your outlook or made you a more powerful person in getting the message out?
Well, what it did, it didn't change my humility. What it did was that it showed you that humility does pay if you stick to purpose. For me, what the Prime Minister Youth Award did gave me a platform to what I would say, it gave me a platform now that through all of this I'm being recognized, yes, but now it certifies me at a different level to say that I have been seen or I've been set apart as a role model among youth. To carry the charge, to let them know that there's a difference that can be made. And as the Governor General would say in his mantra, there's nothing wrong about Jamaica that can't be right, that can't be fixed with what is right with Jamaica. And I believe that the Prime Minister Youth Award, or the award, is what it does is show what is right about Jamaica that can be fixed. Fixed with all that is going wrong, that is what is going right. And so the award gives you the platform now to set the stage, to set a bar for you to fix what is right.
All right. Tijani, you are a teacher, you are a youth pastor, and I'll just say to our listeners that you have been involved in the National Youth Council of Jamaica. You have been the former president of the UII Stat and vice chancellor of Ambassador Corps, and several of other accolades you have attached to your name. I'm sure, and you're also a young Christian, I'm sure you have challenges. If you could share one of your challenge with our young listeners, what would you say that challenge is?
Well, truthfully, I think as a youth, or really as a youth leader, my greatest challenge would be not to say, am I doing enough, but trying to save so many that you can. But you realize time does not allow you. There are 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. And the worst part about it is when you're trying to create time that cannot be created because time is already there. And so you're trying to do so much in such a small time. So in all of the position that I've gotten at now, I know the Youth Ambassador of Jamaica, the Commonwealth, if you're trying to do so much to make an effective change. That balancing now becomes the real issue. Multitasking, sitting on a board, on a planning committee, doing all of that. But at the same time, you don't want to stop, because if you stop, you feel like the fire, that passion that is in you will die. And because of that, it pushes you to do more. And I don't know where I get the strength from, but the reality is that because it pushes me to do more. The more I do it, the more I think I'm fulfilling what my purpose in life.
All right. My producers are giving me the
balancing.
All right. My producers are giving me the wrap-up signal, Tijani. But I want to get
problem.
One word, yes, of encouragement that you would give to all young people who seem to be not on the right path.
Well, for the persons who feel like they're not on the right path, I just want to tell you, I'm Tijani Christian, 23 years old. Presently being selected as the youth ambassador of Jamaica to the Commonwealth. And I want to show you that out of the miles, out of the worst of situations, good can come. So I want you to understand that there is hope. My message that I'm bringing to you is that there's hope if you just humbly stick to the purpose of what you want. Chart a plan of where you want to go. Be humble about it. And to tell the truth, manners does play a big part of it. So please, stick to it. Stick to itness. It may not happen same time, but stick to it. It will come.
All right, Tijani, we want to thank you for having joined us here and Talk Jamaica and having shared your experience and your words of encouragement.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chamberlain. Enjoy the rest of your program.
All right, thank you. Listeners, you heard him there. He's 23 years old, Tijani Christian, out of Waterhouse. He's an educator, youth leader, consultant, and cadet leader. He's doing quite a lot, and he's an ambassador for the Prime Minister.